Hey guys, welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. This week we bring you our top 5 things to see while visiting Yosemite National Park. So stick around, here we go.
So we have our top 5 things to do in Yosemite National Park. These are just our personal preferences for what we did. The park is huge. We only saw kind of a small portion of it.
Right.
So for what we did there, these would be our top 5 things.
I mean, we were there for 2 weeks and didn't even see probably half of it.
Half of it. No, we went to the park 8 times.
Yeah.
8 different times. There was still so much of it later on that people were telling us about, and like, oh, did you do this? Did you do this? And we were like, no, we didn't even know about that. So when we go back next time, we'll probably explore a different park. But starting on May 20th for Yosemite National Park, you have to have a reservation to get in. When we were there, we did not have to have reservations.
So you just go to recreation.gov, either the app or the website, and you can make reservations there, just like other national parks. Like we had to do that when we went to Acadia National Park to make reservations to go up Cadillac Mountain.
Yep.
I'm not sure if there's any fees. Well, probably just the normal national park fees for Yosemite.
Right.
Unless you have the America the Beautiful pass.
Yeah, but if you do go after 4 p.m., then there is no, you don't need a reservation. I can tell you every time that we went there, we got there between like 9 and 11, and it was packed every single day.
Yeah.
So they do that because of that. Especially this time of the year, you know, kids are out of school and people are starting their vacations. So just be aware, be prepared. I would probably say plan early, because just like Cadillac Mountain in Acadia National Park,
days in advance.
Yeah, days in advance. So just be advised and do that.
So starting out, our top 5 things to do is number 5, which is hiking around the perimeter trails of Yosemite Valley.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We finally got to get to the swinging bridge. We had been trying to get there a few times, but just weren't able to get there just because it's a very small parking lot.
Yeah, the parking is crazy if you have, especially when you have a big truck like we mentioned before. So what we did is we parked at Curry Village, which wasn't too far away from Swinging Bridge, and we just hiked from there.
Not sure how long it is because we didn't do all of it, but
it goes from Curry Village, I think, all the way down to like El Capitan and Half Dome and all. We didn't go that far.
We didn't go that far.
It's like 6-7 miles or something like that. But
we packed our lunch that day. We did eat along the trailhead due to the wind that was blowing.
Yeah, it was cold and windy.
Yeah, along the river and over the bridge. There were some areas to eat there, picnic tables, but it was just too cold and windy. So wait along the trail.
Yeah, we found some nice areas where it was blocking the wind, some sunny spots. So yeah, the trail is really beautiful. It kind of, there's some spots where it merges in with the bike trail as well. So you just got to be aware of that. You might have to, move for bikes or whatever, but then there's some specific areas where it's hiking only as well. Let's go on to number 4.
Our 4th favorite thing to do inside Yosemite Valley National Park was
to see El Capitan and Half Dome and all the waterfalls in that area. It was absolutely stunning. It's this one central location where most people, pretty much everybody pulls off to the side of the road because there really isn't a parking lot.
Well, there is parking on the side of the road.
On the side of the road, right? But you can't really pull into a parking lot and park.
Parking lot,
but anyway, in this area, you've got El Capitan on one side. You got Three Brothers, which is 3 different mountain peaks. You've got Bridal Veil Falls. You've got Horsetail Falls. You've got the Merced River running through there. It is just absolutely beautiful.
We loved it. We've stopped there actually a couple of different times just to check it out. We were hoping to try to get back to Bridal Veil Falls, but it was like under construction, or there's like some trees that are down, and just weren't able to get back there on the trail. But you could definitely see it from the road for sure. It was beautiful.
And El Capitan and all that, that's like the iconic mountain or rock or whatever you want to call it of Yosemite, and it's pretty stunning. It's like 7,000 feet tall.
It's beautiful.
Straight up too. All right, should we go down to number 3?
Yes, number 3.
So number 3 on our list is hiking the Carlin Falls Trail, as well as visiting the Hetchy Reservoir area.
So we definitely did not learn our lesson about not doing 2 hikes in one day.
Right. The Carlin Falls Trail is a 3-mile out and back trail, and it follows the Tuolumne River. I hope I'm saying that right. It's absolutely beautiful.
Towards the end, it's gotta get your inner mountain goat on because you're gonna do some rock climbing, but it's so worth it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, once you get to the end, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it was a pretty easy trail other than the very end. The Hetchy Reservoir was pretty impressive. It actually is a dam with a reservoir, obviously, that provides drinking water for 2.7 million people, as well as creating hydropower, electricity through the hydropower. Is pretty impressive.
We were told about it, and we were like, let's go check it out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the off the beaten path of Yosemite National Park, because the road that you take to get there is called Evergreen Road, and it's just prior to getting into the west entrance of Yosemite Park. So you don't really feel like you're entering the park until you get past, there was an Evergreen Lodge where we actually ate lunch, and that was pretty good.
That was really good, yeah. It's actually until you get closer to the dam and reservoir.
It was absolutely beautiful. The mountains surrounding the reservoir, the water just gushing out of the dam. It was really cool. And while we were there, we discovered that there was a trail that led back to another waterfall called Wapoma Falls. Hopefully I'm saying that one right.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
We don't know. So hiking that hike, that's when we decided we were going to do a second hike. One, it was extremely hot that day. We did our hike earlier because it was going to be close to 90 degrees.
Right.
So we left our water.
Well, we packed just enough water for the Carlin Falls trail hike.
In our camelbacks.
In our camelbacks, right, because we weren't planning on doing a second hike. But, yeah. Like I said, we didn't learn our lesson from last time.
We did not make it all the way to the falls because we didn't realize how far it was.
We got close.
Got very close.
And then realized we had about 20 more minutes of hike time to get to the waterfall. But here's the deal with Hetchy Reservoir is they close at 5. The entrance to the park for that section closes at 5 p.m.
Right.
So when we came through the gate, the ranger told us, make sure you're in your car by 4:30 because it's about a 30-minute ride from Hetchy Reservoir back to the entrance of the park. So we were starting to push our time, that 4:30 time. So we had to turn around, unfortunately, at the very end of the trail and head back.
Yeah, because when we were hiking up, we kept paying attention to our watches, and it took us about an hour. It was about an hour and a half just to get to where we had to turn around. So, I mean, it could be close to a 2-hour hike. Of course, we were pretty beat and tired. Maybe if it would have been our first hike of the day, it would have been a little bit faster.
Right. It was hot.
It was hot. I was getting pretty...
No water.
No, I was feeling the heat. I was getting a little dehydrated, starting to get lightheaded, so we did decide to, you know, like we said, we still had more hiking time and just didn't seem worth it to try to rush back. So.
Right. Plus, we didn't want to be those people that stayed in the park past 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have done.
Mad.
Like if they left the gate, we're just stuck in the park or what? So
the Evergreen Road to get to Hetchy is only about 2.5-3 miles from Yosemite Lake's Thousand Trails RV Park, so it's really close.
It was very close. The road though was very, very tight. There was actually a few times that we had to like stop or we hit a couple of branches with the truck.
Right.
Just because it's, you know, a drop off and then rocks or trees. So just be advised of that. It's definitely can't be speeding through there.
No, and you wouldn't want to haul a big rig down that road either.
People did.
I mean, there was RVs, but not big ones.
No, not like large March, but there's a couple like Class Bs and stuff, and that's when it got a little scary, but
yeah.
But it was well worth it. It was beautiful.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
So number 2 on our list was the sequoias.
Yeah, the giant sequoia trees. Wow. So the first grove we went and saw was Merced Grove, which was about a 4-mile out and back hike. And that grove only had about 20 of the big giant sequoia trees, but they were impressive.
They were impressive. And it was a pretty easy hike. And then the second grove we went to was the Mariposa.
Yeah, and that's the home of the giant grizzly tree.
Yeah, the grizzly giant and the one that you could walk through.
Right, and those were the kind of the highlights of that trail. And they had a lot more of the giant sequoias. I think over 100. The grove that we really wanted to go see was the Tuolumne Meadows Grove.
Right.
But unfortunately, the road to that grove was still closed in mid-May due to snow. So if you're planning your Yosemite trip around going to see these large giant sequoia trees, maybe June would be a better month because that road, we couldn't even get to it.
Yeah, it was, like we said, I mean, it snowed while we were there, so.
Right.
It didn't stick, but there was still some snow while we were there, so.
Yeah. Our number 1 thing to see, more of a way to see, I guess you could say, is when we took our e-bikes into Yosemite National Park. That was phenomenal.
It was my favorite way to see the park.
Definitely. I mean, you're mobile, you can cover a lot of ground in a short period of time, and there's so much to see. When we hiked the Yosemite trails, those were beautiful and they were wonderful. However, you just see a very small portion because you're on foot. Took them all over.
All over, just able to sit there and get up close and personal.
Right, and not just e-bikes, any bikes, bicycles in general in that area are wonderful, and they do rent them there too as well.
Yep, you can rent them there.
All right, guys, that is our top 5 list of things to see in Yosemite National Park. If you have your own top 5 things to do and see, put them in the comments because like we mentioned before, we did not see everything. It's a huge park.
Right, and we're planning on definitely going back to do the things that we didn't do this time.
So give us some ideas.
Yep. No two-day hikes though.
Right. All right, well, we hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, share with all your friends, share with your enemies.
Just share, because sharing is caring, like I've said before.
Right. So. Anyway, until next week, safe travels.
Bye, guys.